Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special presentation of the Steele Twins Gaming and the Outside Blitz. And now, here are your hosts, the fabulous Scotty Fraytown, the Bootleg Bettor, and the Cannonball, Alex Steele.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outside Blitz. I am your host, the fabulous one, Scotty Fraytown. Joining me to my left, you can't see him on the video stream, which is kind of entertaining. He's kind of like the Claw. You'll never know his secret identity, but it's the one, the only. Who better to be than the Bootleg Bettor? Boots!
Well, let's go. I'm on the end of the line, something like a last stop. That's your left tackle? Easy money. We call that a cash drop. He tipped off the plate like that stripper last weekend. Eyes going back and forth too fast. He might be tweaking, and I know he's thinking, how will he beat me today? Bull rush him backwards, or rush bait him backwards, bay. Wait. What did he say? Bull rush him backwards. Up fade of bullshit, bay. He'll drown if I swim, tear him in half if I rip. But if I'm spinning, I'm still winning with the Outside Blitz. Amen. Steele on Skype, Fraytown beside me, and I'm the Bootleg Bettor. Who better to be? Let's go.
Shit!
Yeah, boy.
Boots,
You heard me?
ready to rock and roll. And as you all out there already know,
Hold on.
Oh, he ain't done yet.
Starting to heat up. Homie, don't approach it. I'm in the backfield so fast they almost called encroachment. And I hear that quarterback, stop, he might hurt me. I'm about to put green on his all-white jersey. He's yelling for the whistle, saying, get the hell away. So I put him in the ground like a Mark Callaway.
Oh,
Woo!
that is extra spicy. I dig it.
I feel like we have to take like less than 2
Ooh.
weeks between the off-season episodes because you just get red hot for the.
Man.
You can tell it's very pent up.
Man, for our brethren, welcome back. Pour something up.
Yep.
For our sistren. Hello, ladies. Have a drink on up. And for the Blitz babies, the brand new
Yep.
Blitz, welcome to the world. Open up your eyes. Take a deep breath. Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. The Outside Blitz ready to rock and roll, and obviously
Outside Blitz on 101. Ready?
Hey.
Break.
Hi.
From Traverse City, the Steele Twins studio, the Cannonball, Alex Steele. Alex, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. And as everybody knows, well, I'll just tell you, we are live right now on Twitch and YouTube on the Steele Twins Gaming Channel, and I want to try to figure out how to get this on our Facebook page. So I'm the tech whiz here today, but we got a lot on our plate this evening, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We've got some news around the league. Not a whole ton of news, but we do have news around the league. But the league did drop, and they did start to drop anyhow, their top 100 players. So we're going to be discussing number, 100 through 91. We're going to be discussing. Each of us picked a couple that we really thought stood out in the top 100. Well, at least in for lack of a better term, the bottom 10 of that top 100. So We're going to be talking about that. And we're also going to be talking about for this episode, my 5 bold predictions to start off our bold prediction stuff for the NFL season. So I've got mine all written out. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's jump into some news around the league, though, fellas. And the big news that it happened right after our most recent episode dropped. Well, I mean, literally 24 hours later. And we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the last show. The Dolphins said corner Jalen Ramsey, tight end Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 7th-round pick to the Steelers for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a 5th-round selection. So this is a strange trade here. The Dolphins.
I think that's an understatement.
Yeah, it's weird. The Dolphins go out and send Jalen Ramsey out the door, and I understand there was a contract issue there. I understand they were concerned that Jalen Ramsey might not play. He goes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh re-signs him to an extension, gives him a little raise, a 1-year deal, and then tight end Jonnu Smith going over to Pittsburgh. I mean, this is a former Arthur Smith tight end for the Atlanta Falcons, and then he went over to Miami, had a career year in Miami, and now he goes over to the Steelers here, where I assume that's where all tight ends are going to go to die this year. And then in turn, the Dolphins get Minkah Fitzpatrick back as their top safety, which really I think was kind of a silly move. Minkah Fitzpatrick doesn't want to play there. That's the whole reason he requested a trade out of Miami to go to the Steelers in the first place. And now he's back in Miami where he doesn't want to be. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep, it is definitely Twilight Zone here. Absolutely.
Boots, I mean,
This is a good news, bad news type of situation.
yeah.
Right? Good news is you get, if you're the Dolphins, you get a top 5 safety in the league, right?
That's fair.
You get rid of as some people are calling, malcontent, right? Issues with the coaching staff, issues with the defensive coordinator. If we choose to believe the rumor and innuendo, which we don't,
Yeah,
usually,
exactly.
but allegedly, we'll say. And so the thing is, Jalen Ramsey goes to a better defense,
Yep.
right? A better team. And the bad news in all of this is Tua Tagovailoa will not have Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
Who was great last year. It was great. He
Yeah.
was tight end 6 last year?
Career year.
Yeah.
And I got a lot more to say about that later on, but good news, bad news.
Yeah. And Jonnu Smith, the problem for Jonnu Smith, it's like he's kind of one of the losers of this trade here because he goes to a place.
I don't know.
He goes to a place with 3 tight ends with him, and you still got Pat Fryermuth over there, and you still got the cat they picked up in the 6th round, whose name escapes me.
Talking about Washington, but he's more of the
He's a
blocking
blocker
type,
type,
right?
yeah.
But now, who's the quarterback over there?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, which is
Now,
that's an improvement. I would
now, but at that same point, who loves throwing to the tight end more than Aaron Rodgers?
say there's not many.
Thank
There's not many. It's an interesting situation because we don't know. I feel like the fact that Fryermuth is still over there, it's still going to eat into Jonnu Smith's target.
It will, but the offense will still move. We all remember fondly the Patriots offense with Gronk and Hernandez.
Yeah, the double
right?
tight end sets.
It gives you more pieces to move because Jonnu Smith is, come on, man.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Matchup nightmare for a lot of safeties and linebackers. And Pat Fryermuth, we already know what he can do.
Now, how much of this do you think was a change of sort of philosophy, I guess, after they walked George Pickens out the door to Dallas? Do you think this is a situation where they went, oh, hey, let's go ahead and get an additional target because we realize that Calvin Austin is our top number 2 receiver here? I mean,
Absolutely.
that was probably the mindset.
Absolutely. And they're still gonna run the ball. They're still gonna beat you up front. And what I heard on the Pat Boyle show was Mark Schlereth saying that he feels like Aaron Rodgers is kind of gonna operate on 3rd down, right?
Yeah.
Sort of like that old John Elway, as he was saying.
Sure.
Hey, your job is to coach it's 1st and 2nd down. Let me work on 3rd down, right? And Arthur Smith has already speculated, right? And said, hey, and we're gonna do a little bit, we're gonna let him be what he is, and get some of that old magic back. That's why I got the Steelers making the playoffs, 2nd in the division.
Now, and also it creates a situation for the Steelers, at least on the back end of their defense. They still have one really good safety, Deshaun Elliott, back there, who's also coming off a career year here. The question for the Steelers now becomes, who is your starting safety? Aside from Deshaun Elliott, because now you have really 3 star corners here. You have Darius Slade, Joey Porter Jr., and you got Jalen Ramsey.
Now, there's been some speculation on that same topic that Ramsey may move to safety.
That would be interesting,
right?
You would
think you take his cover skills and you put him in the secondary. You don't need him to come up and make tackles.
Yeah.
You don't need him to do that.
You need coverage. You need coverage. To me, the guy to put back there at safety would be Darius Slay, given the speed that he's lost throughout his career. The age is good. Father Time does no job.
I can see that too.
So to me, if it was me, I would give him the old Charles Woodson treatment, right? Kick him back to safety.
Extend the career.
Yeah, and let him do that. That would make a lot more sense if it was me, but maybe I'm just, a wild man. I don't know.
They could rotate.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well. And then it created a question with this trade. It also created a question for the Dolphins as to who was going to play tight end for them. But we figured that out relatively quickly. The Dolphins go out and they trade a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Giants for tight end Darren Waller, who comes out of retirement to play for Miami. Darren Waller, he was not good in his time with New York. He had two really good seasons with the Raiders in the last couple of years. Yeah, a little rough. And maybe the rap career wasn't working out because that's what he left football.
Hey, Waller, you heard me. Let's get on the track.
But Alex, Darren Waller, I mean, the last time we saw Darren Waller, it was not good. He leaves the Giants. He comes back to Miami. This is an offensive coordinator that he used to play for when he was with the Raiders. So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to come to Miami. So now Darren Waller is in Miami. Do you think he puts up the same level of production as Jonnu Smith, or is old man Waller going to struggle?
I really don't think so. I mean, honest to goodness, I mean, if you take a look at Jonnu Smith's stats, I mean, not Jonnu Smith's, Darren Waller's. You know, he's obviously a journeyman in the NFL. You know, most of his time was spent with the Raiders, and that's where he had most of his success. If you take a look at 2029 and 2020, you know, he broke 1,000 yards 2 years in a row. You know, and 2020 was especially eye-opening because he got 9 touchdowns that year. And that's around the time, you know, that was COVID football too. So, you know, we all sat there and went, this Darren Waller kid might be worth something. And then, you know, he gets hurt. You know, after he got hurt, we've said multiple times on this show over the years that after that injury, Darren Waller really wasn't the same. You know, and you know he only put up 552 yards last year with the Giants, and he only played 9 games in 22 when he got hurt. So you know, he's definitely a shell of his former self. And honest to goodness, you're downgrading at this point from Jonnu Smith. Just looking at these numbers, I mean, what say you?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Darren Waller is a downgrade from Jonnu Smith at this point, especially with Darren Waller being. He's at that, in football terms, that advanced age, we call it. He's, 33 years old right now?
He's 32. He'll be 33 by the time the season starts.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a guy who, I mean, he has great hands, but he hasn't played football for a year. I mean,
he ain't Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He's not Gronk.
Yeah, I'll just say this. I take back any negative thing I've ever said about Darren Waller. Let's get on the track together.
I mean, and Waller, I mean, he goes to a better quarterback situation. I will say that because Tua Tagovailoa is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. He goes to a better team situation because I do think the Miami Dolphins, it's not much of an improvement, but the Miami Dolphins are an improvement compared to the New York Giants. Let's face that.
And the McDaniel offense will, you know, definitely feature him. If he's still got it, they're going to feature him and get him over the middle. Too, is they're deadly accurate over the middle of the field, that intermediate area.
Yeah, and they utilized that last year as well. So it's an interesting situation they have with the Dolphins. We're going to see how Darren Waller plays into things. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it. I think you're going to see a lot more of other options here. It could be opening up targets for Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I mean, if they go downfield more, that could work out. But it's going to be interesting to see.
Either way, it's going to be all on Tua's show.
Oh yeah, and his health. He's going to have to stay healthy. I mean, we haven't seen Tua Tagovailoa stay healthy. I mean, if he goes down and we see, and I don't even think Skylar Thompson's there anymore. I think we'd be talking about Quinn Ewers. Yeah. So it would be on Quinn Ewers at that point, which actually. I mean, look, I know we're not big fans of Quinn Ewers on this show, but given his propensity for spreading the ball out, I'm just saying.
It's good weather, and he's better than whatever else they have.
Yeah, exactly. He's about the best they'll have there. Also, because we were talking about the Steelers a minute ago, the Steelers have come out and said they have zero intention of trading T.J. Watt. They're set to remain focused on extending him. I mean, there it is. I mean, there were a few rumors flying that T.J. Watt could be going out the door. Look, just sign the man. Just extend him. I don't understand why in the hell this is taking so long. He should have been extended 3 months ago.
Right. They probably just dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and making sure everything is spelled correctly.
Yep.
Right. That's all it is. The Steelers are one of the best organizations in total period.
Yeah.
But in dealing with players, they've got a really good track record.
They do. They always make it a point to get their guys signed for the right amount, whatever the case may be,
or get them out the door if it benefits the team.
Yeah.
To do so.
Speaking of guys that got out the door, George Pickens went to the Dallas Cowboys this offseason. Well, the Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott, says he expects to be a full go for training camp. He says he is not worried about trying to build a rapport with George Pickens this year because it's going to be relatively easy to do so. Do you think that's accurate? Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here and say that Dak makes sense here. I mean, I'm not saying he's right and I'm not saying he's wrong, but I get a feeling that, I'm going to go ahead and say that, they'll make it work. George Pickens may have the attitude problem, but maybe because he's playing for a bigger franchise team, that might help smooth things over a little bit. But time is honestly going to tell. I mean, Dak Prescott is definitely a bit of an upgrade over Russell Wilson, obviously. But at the same time, how many times we said on this podcast, Dak Prescott's not going to get you to the promised land. He'll get you to maybe like the wild card, and if you're really lucky, the divisional round. But we've said it time and time again, and he's getting up there too. So this is we said it last week. We said it last episode, and maybe the episode before. But we're really going to start seeing a true downturn age in Dallas.
Yeah, I agree with you. Dak Prescott. One thing I will say about, and I'm kind of with Dak here. I wouldn't be too worried. I think he'll develop a nice rapport with George Pickens. We've seen Dak. I mean, you recall he had CeeDee Lamb, and oh God, his name is escaping me at the moment.
Talking about Brandon Cooks?
No, not Brandon Cooks. He went for Cleveland.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Thank you. His name was escaping me for some reason. But when they had Lamb and Cooper over there, Dak was pretty deadly with the two of them on that team for a couple of years there. And now this is very similar to that type of situation. You've got Lamb and Pickens now.
You've got an outside guy and a guy that they move around a lot with CeeDee Lamb. They move him everywhere in formation.
Right. Last year it was Lamb and you had, everybody else. Whether it was
Brandon
Turpin
Cooks,
or Brandon Cooks or
Tolbert.
Yeah, I mean it was just a slew of just other guys, right? And now you've got, Lamb and Pickens, two bona fides. It's a 1A, 1B situation. I think this creates a lot of good stuff for Dak Prescott as long as he can stay healthy. We've seen that, and how effective he can be when he is healthy. I mean, we've seen Dak Prescott have some really high highs with the Dallas Cowboys. Just never made it to the promised land. And I don't think Dak is capable of taking them to the promised land as far as a Super Bowl goes. I think we all agree with that.
I would argue that it's a half Dak Prescott and it's half Mike McCarthy. And I don't know if McCarthy's still hanging around in Dallas. I'd be shocked if he's not.
No, sir. He is long gone.
Well, I mean, good. So it was a long time coming. So, but that duo. I really think that You get the new coach. Is it the guy that used to? His name escapes me at the moment. I apologize, but
Brian Schottenheimer.
Gotcha. Well, I've heard that name before in other circles in the NFL. So again, not good. So I don't think it's a downgrade from McCarthy, but it's more going to be like a lateral move. So yeah. I don't know. But with the right coaching, with the right players. They have the potential to have a turnaround season, but I'm telling you what, window's closing. You got to show up and show out this year, I would imagine.
I think that window's been closed. I think it's closed. Yeah. I
agree.
Yeah.
right now I think they're in pure rebuild mode. I think they've got 2 young receivers over there who are relatively young in Lamb and Pickens. I think you're going to wind up, hopefully, and in my opinion, you're going to see the emergence of Jaden Blue this year. I think it's only a matter of time before Javonte Williams gets hurt. You know, Jaden Blue is.
Put that on the man.
Listen, I rode that.
All last year.
No, I rode that Javonte Williams train. And I said, you know what? And in that first season, that rookie year, everybody was oohing and on, and we sat there and said, oh, let's talk about Javonte Williams. We loved him. And then he came out every year since then, and he's been injury prone and hurt and a bad average. And
one time, everything was torn up in his knee. One time,
he's always been torn up.
He came back.
He's either concussed.
He came back and had a so-so season. But you have to remember the first year back from that major knee injury. Then last season, maybe it just didn't really work out in Denver, right? The running back by committee, but was he fully healthy? Did he really fully recover? We don't know. Maybe it'll take him another year, and if this is the year where he's back to, you know, what we recall, you know, coming out of North Carolina, the balance, the vision, the explosiveness, the RB1, the foundational running back pedigree that he had, maybe we see it this season.
I don't think it translates to the NFL. I don't. I think
that always translates.
I don't think his does. I don't think what his skill set transfers the NFL translates to the NFL.
It surely did before he was injured.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is I feel like the guy should be in a bed getting sung songs by Patch Adams. Like the guy is constantly hurt, and now I'm like,
it's a little sublime.
I've been having some good polls today. Inspector Gadget, Patch Adams, you like that? But you know, at the same time, I look over at this Jaden Blue kid who, I mean, had a really great combine. He looked.
Of course, he's going to get some carries.
Of course, I love Jaden. I love Jaden Blue. The more I watch tape on this kid, the more I like him, and I really think that he's going to take that RB1 job over there. And if you get that going, and the Dallas, let's face facts, they got to fix their offensive line a little bit too. They got some offensive line problems over there ever since with all the retirements and guys walking out the door and whatever else. They got to fix that O-line. So, I mean,
we're all in agreement here that Dallas will end up at minimum third in the division.
Yeah, I agree
right?
with that.
We all have that same, you know, mindset, right?
Yeah.
But I think we need to give Javonte Williams another year to see if he's really 100% from that injury and coming back and doing what he was doing. He had balance, vision, explosiveness, everything that you need to be a standout RB1 in the NFL. He had.
Now I think his knees are made of pencils, but I digress. Speaking of running backs,
let's erase that from the record.
Right. Speaking of we'll talk about the Broncos. Ex-Broncos safety Justin Simmons says he has, quote unquote, no bad blood with Broncos head coach Sean Payton. Currently, Justin Simmons is a free agent. He's hoping to sign with a contender. First of all, how surprised are we that Justin Simmons is still sitting out there on free agency? He's one of the best safeties in football.
Awesome. Yeah, that's why I said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great tackler, a great coverage safety. I mean, he does it all. I mean, at one point, I think he was ranked a top 5 safety for like 3 years running. I mean,
top 5 in every look. You put him on your team, right? You're starting the team today, and you had your choice. Hey, Josh Simmons is out here to be your safety. Yeah, you'll take it.
Yeah. Simmons makes sense. I don't understand that.
And I'll tell you this, a statistic you guys need to, take up and notice. He had 32 interceptions for 42 return yards, and he got a pick 6 out of all that. But I mean, you're basically on average, you basically are averaging 2 to 3 interceptions a year, which I mean, interception is rare for a professional, but somebody that can consistently generate those kinds of numbers, you need somebody in the backfield there, in the deep downfield rather, to be able to make plays like that, especially if you're up against it. So the fact that he's a free agent is very, very surprising.
Yeah, played last year with the Falcons, but all those years he had with the Broncos, I mean, he was amazing. It culminated in 2019 get this, 2019, 90.7 PFF grade. He was the second ranked safety. That was his top grade, his top out grade. He had a 91.1 coverage grade and an 86.1 run defense grade. I think that should tell you everything you need to know about Justin Simmons and what he's capable of.
Yeah, I'd say Josh.
Yeah, Justin Simmons. I mean, this guy, he's still one of the best safeties in football. You have to get him in the right system, the right scheme. I mean, I'm over here like looking at this, and then I'm over here kind of looking over at the Vikings, going, "Hey, you really
go it to the ribs."
Yeah, you really want to start Theo Jackson this year? Is that the big plan? I don't know.
Y'all need corners. I'm just saying.
Corners. I could use a safety like Justin Simmons. Throwing it out there, but yeah, I like Justin Simmons a lot. The fact that he's a free agent is ridiculous to me. Potential landing spots for Justin Simmons, do you think? Tennessee would be a good fit.
Yep.
That would be a nice little fit for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tennessee.
Yep. He wouldn't go to Atlanta. He just left Atlanta. How about New England? New England with that hard-nosed defensive style. Mike Vrabel, he likes to tackle. Justin Simmons is a good tackling safety. I can see New England. Yep. How about the New York Giants?
How about the Miami Dolphins?
The Dolphins, yes, line him up next to Minka.
Yeah, you just lost Jalen Ramsey. You might as well go get yourself a safety.
Yep,
you know,
you got Patrick out of the deal. You already have one good safety. You can line him up, and away you go. Yeah. I mean, you got to shore up your secondary. Why not? How about Tampa? Tampa might be a good spot.
That'd be a good spot, nice and warm.
Yep, right next to
nice warm spot.
Right, yeah. How about this? How about Houston? Houston.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Houston, they just lost one of their safeties, and now Justin Simmons is sitting on free agency. I would jump at that if I was Houston.
Yeah,
that would make a lot of sense to me.
I can see that.
Yeah. So
knowing you've got to go against Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter over there in Jacksonville. Yeah.
Or possibly another landing spot. The LA Rams would be a nice little spot for him. How with Cam Curl there?
I don't know, man.
You don't like him with the Rams?
I don't like his curl.
Did you throw out Seattle yet?
Seattle might be another good spot.
Because I'm thinking, that NFC West, they're always looking for talent.
That McDonald defense would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So, you have potential options here for him. And he comes from the Atlanta Falcons after last year with the Atlanta Falcons. But speaking of the Falcons quarterback, oh, God, Kirk Cousins. He says he, quote unquote, felt misled when he signed with the team once they drafted Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute. Let's follow that up. I want to see that quote. Where'd that story come from?
Yeah, that is.
Let's see this thing here.
All right, let me go ahead and pull that. But yes, Kirk Cousins did say he felt misled.
Yep. It was on the first episode of.
Yeah, they led you to $90 million. What?
Yeah. Per MSN, Kirk Cousins may have re-signed with the Minnesota Vikings last offseason had he known the Atlanta Falcons would draft a quarterback in the first round. For the first time publicly, the veteran opened up on his feelings about the Falcons taking Michael Penix Jr. with the number 8 overall pick in 2024 in an episode of the Netflix series Quarterback, which premiered on Tuesday. He said he felt, quote unquote, a little bit misled when the Falcons took Penix that high. The Falcons had signed Cousins to a contract worth at least $100 million guaranteed just a few weeks earlier, tabbing him as their quarterback for 2024 and beyond. And then Atlanta stunned the NFL and Cousins by taking Penix in the top 10 because the franchise believed in him as the future franchise quarterback.
Get a load of this quote. I had no reason to leave Minnesota with how much we loved it there if both teams are going to be drafting a quarterback that high. Listen, you signed the contract before they drafted him, dummy.
Yeah, and we also found out in the grand scheme of things that, on one end, I understand what Kirk Cousins is saying. On the other end, and I'll say this as a Vikings fan, the Vikings offered him a deal, and he rejected it. And then he went out and if you recall, there was a whole big investigation into the fact that the Atlanta Falcons tampered to go out and get Kirk Cousins signed before it was allowed, before the quote unquote legal tampering period opened up, right? And the Falcons faced penalties over that. And now here we are, Kirk Cousins, who I have tabbed multiple times as the Joel Osteen of the NFL. The man is a money-grubbing turd. Finally gets his just desserts going to Atlanta, and he gets screwed over by the Falcons organization for his poor negotiating skills with the Vikings, for the fact that he left the Vikings high and dry, and because of the fact that he ran off to a situation that he figured, oh, well, I got more money coming, and even though he claimed, oh, it was never about the money, you know what? It was always about the money to Kirk Cousins, and now he gets to eat his dessert. He made his bed. He can lie in it.
I don't know how poor he is.
That bed's made out of gold, Jack.
He's a money-grubbing turd. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, just put him in a bathtub full of broken glass, dog. You just body slammed into a bathtub full of broken glass.
You shouldn't have left, Kirk. You shouldn't have left, Kirk. You shouldn't have left. That's what you get.
Oh, man.
That's what you get.
No, Atlanta is not in the wrong because Kirk Cousins, again, coming off of that Achilles tear, right, or the injury, whether it was tear or not, whatever, it was, he missed,
Yeah.
So, and the results on the field began to bear themselves out, right? All last season, the first few handful of games, Kirk Cousins looked really good. And then he slowly started to, kind of slow down a little bit.
Yeah, there was a 4-game stretch. He had 8 interceptions, no touchdowns throughout that 4 games.
And he was not putting a lot of the lower body movement. Looked like he was still kind of struggling a little bit with the injury and in the rehab. He wasn't, fully back to 100%, right? Probably not. But Atlanta had to have known that, even though they had to have known that, and they planned ahead. And we saw Michael Penix Jr., who I've been talking about for the last 3 years, right? Come into the game, get the nod, and deliver more often than not. Okay, still a rookie, still a learning curve, right? But he still delivered more often than not.
Almost made the playoff.
Man.
Almost made the playoffs.
If it hadn't been for Raheem Morris calling a ridiculous direct snap to Bijan Robinson, what are you doing, man?
Why the direct snap? Just throw the ball. Let your guy throw the ball.
Oh, my gosh.
It made no sense. I know you want to get the
they
ball.
They would have beaten the Commanders, I believe.
I love the idea of getting the ball in the hands of your playmaker, but get it in the hands of your quarterback and let him make the play. It made no sense. But in any case, the Atlanta Falcons apparently have a disgruntled now backup quarterback on their roster.
Worth $100 million. You know what? They probably have the best quarterback situation in the league, especially if Cousins is as close to 100% as he's going to get. Right? But there's a veteran presence in the locker room. There's a positive influence in the locker room, just him as a person, right? And then showing Penix Jr. how to be a pro and how to go about the business, because Kirk Cousins has always been a by the book, by the numbers, good guy to have in the locker room. Embraces the cities that he's playing in. Embraces his team, embraces his teammates, and does what's asked of him.
I'm with you there. He tries to be the stand-up guy. He does try to be a stand-up guy, except when it comes to money, which he'll just run forward.
He is an iron-fisted negotiator.
He waved money at him, and he comes jogging down the field. So, you do. It's crazy. It's like a stripper. You might as well just rename him Cinnamon. But in any case, I see what you did there. But in any case, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs guard Trey Smith is now currently in the contract negotiations with the team for a contract extension. So the Chiefs placed the franchise tag on him this year. So he's on a 1-year deal technically right now. There's a deadline for that franchise tag, and I'm not sure what that date is. I'd have to find that, but they're nearing that franchise tag deadline.
It is Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Okay, so this upcoming Tuesday. So if they don't sign him to an extension before that franchise tag deadline, then they got to wait until next year, and then otherwise they might have to franchise tag him again.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah. So
Who wants to go through that twice?
Yeah, and well, if you franchise tag him again, the price goes significantly higher at that point too.
Just win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and it'll be all right.
yeah, and everybody's getting money. Everybody gets paid in those situations. Yeah. But Trey Smith, important to the Chiefs. He's one of the best offensive linemen in all of football. He's been one of the best guards since he came into the league. Him being lined up next to Creed Humphrey has been, I mean,
Tennessee.
And they nabbed him up after the Super Bowl loss to the Buccaneers. They nabbed him up. They stuck him next to Creed Humphrey, and it was a revelation for that team. I mean, the next year they go win the Super Bowl, and I mean, it's just, here we are. So Trey Smith, I mean, got to get him back on board. Speaking of offensive linemen, Bucs left tackle Tristan Wirfs. He has undergone knee surgery. He's going to start the season on the PUP list.
Uh-oh.
Left tackle for the Buccaneers.
What's the left tackle? That's the blind side position.
Yeah, this is bad news for Baker Mayfield. Mayfield can scramble, he can run, but man, you don't have Tristan Wirfs out there. Oh, that's tough. That's troubling. That's tough. Yeah. So the Bucs won't have him, and then on top of it, that's going to affect Bucky Irving as well.
That's the first 4 games, right?
Yep.
So let's take a look at the Bucs schedule real quick.
Yeah, you read my mind you read my mind, Boots. If we take a peek at that schedule, they got the Falcons on opening week, then they have the Texans, the Jets, and the Eagles. So without that left tackle, I mean, you're looking at 1-3.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Here's the thing. First of all, the Falcons this draft, they invested in what? Edge rushers.
Yeah.
Across the board in the draft.
Twice in the first round.
Yeah, 2 edge rushers right off the rip. So you got that. Those are 2 first-round draft picks. Then you're talking about the Texans who have
Jalen Walker and James Pierce.
Yeah. They went after both. They got Pierce in the trade up.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you're going to take on the Texans who Daniil Hunter,
Will Anderson.
Talk to him. Yeah, I mean, Danico Autry.
Uh-oh.
You're talking about a Baker. Then you go and take on the Jets, who have actually a really good defense over there.
Yep.
And now you're going to have Aaron Glenn, who loves to blitz.
Yeah.
He loves to blitz. Yeah. So you've got that out
outside
there.
blitz.
No, he does. Actually, it is a lot of outside blitz. And then you got the Eagles, who have one of the most bruising front sevens in the entire league.
If they hadn't let Josh Sweat go, I mean, took a ring out the door with him. But man, imagine if the Eagles still would have had Josh Sweat.
Yeah,
on this team.
I mean, even then, but
still,
I'm
right?
Like, oof. You look at that Eagles. I mean, Jalen Carter up the middle. I mean, the way he blitzes from a defensive tackle position, they're in trouble.
Yeah, putting pressure on your interior, but you can put pressure on the exterior. So this is kind of significant. And the Bucs never had they don't have a top 10 offensive line as it is.
Right.
It's Wirfs is clearly the best one. The best.
I agree with that.
Yep.
And let's look at the Eagles starters just while I'm on it. Let's not forget that they went and got Azeez Ojulari.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got that. You've got Jordan Davis up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Carter.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have Nolan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Josh. Who? Exactly. You got Zach Bond, who coming off a career year. Nakobe Dean. Everybody forgot about Nakobe Dean. I mean, it's like
he had a little injury, but
yeah, but and also
the draft,
and also we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the son of good friend of the show, James Hunt, the good man Jalix Hunt, who had himself a Super Bowl win and had himself a career year in the playoffs, if you recall. That late season run for Jalix Hunt was huge. He was such an impact player down the stretch. So, I mean, and we got to meet Mr. James Hunt, by the way, at the NFL Combine. It was a great time meeting Jalen Hunt's father. Wonderful man. Also, by the way, this team also spent draft capital on Jahad Campbell. So,
Yes.
so let's remember that too. That guy as a delayed blitzer is brutal on his delayed blitzes.
And he's definitely really good in coverage.
Yes.
Because that's a staple of the Fangio defense. The linebackers have to be able to cover as well. So you're looking at a real tough stretch for the first 4 games of the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why I've got the Carolina Panthers winning that division. And the Bucks ending up 3rd.
Man, I couldn't believe you had the Panthers winning that division.
I'm blown away.
I do. I was blown away.
On the one hand, you got Bryce Young, who's starting to come up, but one more little tidbit to put a bow on this conversation with the Buccaneers and Tristan Wirfs. In 2024, Mayfield, to quote the NFL.com article, in 2024, Mayfield's Shield allowed 0 sacks and just 13 quarterback pressures per Pro Football Focus. Say that 3 times fast. The fewest of any offensive tackle in the NFL with a minimum of 600 snaps. And that dude's on the PUP list?
He's arguably one of, if not the best left tackle in football. When he got drafted, we were excited about him. And he's been great ever since he came into the league.
Earned it by guarding the blind side of Mr. Tom Brady.
Yes, he did. And winning a Super Bowl.
Early.
And won a Super Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, he's definitely a primetime player on that team. Also, let's talk about the Chargers. You want to talk about injuries. Chargers running back Najee Harris, it's considered a superficial injury, but he did suffer an eye injury during a 4th of July event.
I got to do this.
You big dummy.
Yeah, exactly. He's a dummy. How are you going to go and get hurt off?
Well, what the heck is he doing? Like, blowing M80s off, and he got a chunk of rock in his eye, or a mishap with a sparkler? I mean, what do we got here?
What actually happened?
Yeah,
So, okay, according to the NFL, yes.
Let's see. Chargers running back Najee Harris injured in a 4th of July fireworks accident, according to Rob Hurd. The running back's agent, Doug Hendrickson, released a statement assuring that his client only suffered superficial injuries and will be good to go for the 2025 campaign. He was present at a 4th of July event where a fireworks mishap resulted in injuries to several attendees. Najee sustained a superficial eye injury during the incident, but is fully expected to be ready for the season.
So
just put some spit and duct tape on it and put him in an eye patch.
Yeah, no, they were setting him off at the driveway. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't, they do these things professionally, and you can sit back, 1,000 feet
and just watch it from afar. I mean,
that's the best way to watch it.
But you remember the last time we had a fireworks incident like this was Jason Pierre-Paul blowing his fingers off, which was just...
Yep, still has that old club hand walking around the field.
It never fails. You see the videos online. You hear about the stories.
Back up, Terry.
Right.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Throw some snap bombs on the concrete. Light a sparkler, maybe a bottle. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Silly, stupid
go
shit.
to a display. Go to where they do it professionally.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just silly as hell. Moving into, we've got a few, 2 more news stories here. One from the Chicago Bears. They have signed general manager Ryan Poles to a contract extension through 2029. This ties him to the same 5-year deal as Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's deal, expires in 2029. So it's officially Ryan Poles has tied himself to this boat here. This is where we're going. It's
hopefully it's not a rudderless ship.
Yeah.
Right. And hopefully it's more than just a tugboat, but you see these GM head coach duos, some of them are good, some of them are really, really bad. Quinn Trisha. But I really think that the Bears are truly setting themselves up for success here.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is the first time that Ryan Poles, since he got signed, this is the first time that Ryan Poles has looked confident in his position.
Complete support system.
Yeah,
for the coach and the GM
and the quarterback, really.
Yeah. So so we're all in it together.
Yep.
Right? And nobody's looking over their shoulder for their job.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
He's pushing his chips to the middle of the table at this point. That's what he's doing. I mean, we're all in on Ben Johnson. We're all in on Caleb Williams. We're all in on these 3 big-time receivers and these 2 tight ends we have. We're all in on this revamped offensive line. I mean, that Bears offense, whether anybody wants to admit it, it does look pretty volatile. And I think people need to be looking going,
yeah,
on paper.
On paper, yeah, there's going to be new concepts, but it's an entirely new way of doing business for Caleb Williams in the fact that, he hadn't even, according to, the what was it?
All the reports,
and everything, the rumor and innuendo, which we don't really read into and believe a whole lot of, but, it's been out there, it's been floated that he didn't watch film. So,
well, he did watch film, but he didn't have anybody to
instructed
study it.
and shown how to and what to look for, this, that, and the third. So now there's going to be a huge adjustment period, right? Especially to start the season. But, when you look at what they've got on offense and the concept that Ben Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator for the Lions for the last few seasons, the concepts and the way the schemes and everything, it could be very, very fruitful for Caleb Williams, especially going forward.
Yeah.
Early, I don't know, but after everything gets settled in, man.
And we've seen what the schemes that Ben Johnson, has. We've seen what he can accomplish with those schemes and
the trick plays.
Yeah, and
right,
and all this for a league that's dipping into zone coverage a lot more. Ben Johnson's offenses have been really good against zone. That's one thing. They rip apart zone coverage, and the league is moving in that direction. And because the league is moving in that direction, I mean, his system, his offensive system, just works. For where the league is headed. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And then our last bit of news: Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has signed a 2-year, $60 billion budget plan that includes funding for a new Cleveland Browns stadium. So the Cleveland Browns will be getting a new stadium. I don't know where. I don't know if it's going to be in that weird Cleveland suburb that they were talking about. Yeah, I don't know, but the Cleveland Browns are apparently getting a new stadium.
I think the question that we all must really ask is, why?
Listen,
win something first.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
before you do something good.
I mean, ask the Lions. They got one for 20 years. They never won jack.
It always comes back to the Lions. Always comes back to Detroit.
Well, listen, I will say, I will cop this, that, we did have the roof, kind of fall apart near the end. Yep. It was high time we moved.
Tell me it's not going to be a dome.
No, well, I wouldn't surprise me if it's dome.
Man, please, no.
No,
that's not how we play in Ohio. No dome.
Well, here it is. Well, according to this article, it says here, the Haslam Sports Group, owner of the Browns, previously requested that the state help build a new domed stadium in suburban Brook Park, south of Cleveland. So I don't know if that's just like this. I don't know if that's their actual plan, but it's been talked about. So I would not be surprised if that's where they go.
No, why are politicians getting involved?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
And I don't know why they're all going to dome stadiums. The open top stadium is going away. At least make it retractable.
Yeah. Put a roof on for inclement weather, but open that up if it's sunny out. Put the roof, pull it back. It's go the convertible route.
No, when you go December, January, and it's cold and it's snowing and it's raining in Ohio and Cleveland and it's rough, that's when you get that doggone dome open and you make them work for it.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It can sleep.
But it seems like the open top stadiums are disappearing now. It's every one of them. I mean, if you
told you that rolled down with like the NFL glamping now. You just go into games. Oh, we don't want to be cold in the game.
The glamping.
Yeah. The only teams that are going to be left is the Packers. They'll be the last one to put a dome on.
Let's see, the ones that are open right now, we got Gillette over in Boston there. So you got that up in Foxborough.
Raymond James in Tampa.
Raymond James is open. You got
but it's Tampa.
Yeah, it's Tampa. It's
right.
Pretty out there. Yeah. They're talking about a possible dome stadium for the Chiefs right now, which would be something.
Oh, yeah, we talked
about that last show.
Yeah,
the Seahawks are open right now, and which I mean it rains like hell over there.
Yeah. Fans don't seem to mind.
Yeah, they don't seem to mind it at all.
They're used to it. They are. It rains all the time.
Both of the Texas stadiums, the New Orleans stadium, all domes. All are domed in. Vikings are domed. There's not many.
I mean, San Francisco, but again, they're on the Bay.
Yeah.
Levi Stadium.
Yeah, Levi Stadium's open. Yeah. The Tennessee's open.
Again, good weather.
Good weather, yeah. Cincinnati's still open. They're going to be keeping their stadium open top. They just signed a bill to get it revamped. We talked about that last show as well. Yeah. So, they'll still have the open top. The Giants.
At least they get one thing right.
Yep. Jets and Giants, open top, for the MetLife.
Baltimore, I believe Baltimore Stadium is open top.
Baltimore. Open.
Pittsburgh.
Yep, Carolina. Carolina's open. Yep. So
it is? I thought Carolina was domed.
Nope, that's an open top, and so is Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got an open top as well.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, they want that weather. Buffalo. Don't forget Buffalo. They got open top.
Weren't they going to do something with their stuff? Weren't they going to dome it?
Well, they were.
Trying to build a new one?
They're building a new one, but it's going to be open top. They're still going open top, which is interesting to me because, Buffalo has lost so many games from being, open top because they get slowed out.
Look, we love our frozen tundra games and our snowy games, but have you seen the snow in Buffalo, New York in the winter? I mean, it goes up 2-3 feet. You get fans digging themselves out of their driveways.
It's really bad, and they've lost. Like, there's been so many games. I mean, heck, right here in Detroit, they've had to take Buffalo Bills games and move them to Detroit because there was so much snow in Buffalo. So
more snow than Bolivia.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's freaking terrible. Then that's our news for the show. But let's talk about this NFL top 100 that popped up.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. We have a new sponsor.
Do we?
Oh.
Yes. The Outside Blitz. This segment is brought to you by Acme Banging Headboards.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
That's right. The Acme company is now building headboards. These banging headboards will be sure to disturb your wall-bearing neighbors at approximately 4:05 in the morning. These banging headboards,
you can't even say it without laughing,
are made with premium morning wood, sure to turn your snuggle time out. Now they come in a pack of 3, but you only gonna need 1.
Yeah, only 1.
Yeah. So get your banging headboard. Call 123 Acme. Somebody answer the phone. You order it. It'll be delivered by 2 men you don't want your wife to see ever again. And make sure that you tell them the Outside Blitz sent you.
Banging headboards. They're banging.
Sure to turn your snuggle time out.
Unbelievable. So we're going to go through each week that we're on this show, and we're going to go through the NFL Top 100. We're going to be talking about today will be 100 through 91. We'll be talking about as the NFL releases them. We'll be talking about some of these players.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's the thing. Let's pull the curtain back.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're going to pull the curtain back. Oh. I only go to places where they pull the curtain back. It usually costs me $0.25. But that's in about 90 seconds. But anyway, so I'm flipping through the channels the other day, right?
And I noticed on one of the NFL Network shows, I don't even know what it's called. But anyway, they were talking about a player on the list. I said, oh, they got a new top 100 this year.
Yep.
Okay. So I started flipping through to see when it was going to be on the NFL Network. I went through an entire week of the TV, on the live TV guide.
Yep.
I went in through an entire week. Nothing was on it about the top 100. It's Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that, highlight this, highlight that. Where's the top 100?
Yeah.
So I ended up just pulling it up on YouTube, and that's where they're releasing it. Right?
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so I saw they had done 100 through 91. I'm like, well, I love this list.
Yeah. Let's talk
because
about
this list is brought to you by, not acting, but the players vote on this list.
Yes.
The players rank each other. So these are your rival, right? Your teammates, right? People that you go against twice a year, people that you practice with, people that, they know you, they study you, the film and everything. So this list is like, this is real.
Yeah.
Right? These are the top guys. I love this list. Every year when it comes out, I try to take a look at it.
And I got to tell you, even so, looking at 100 through 91.
Yeah.
There's a few players where I would take them and I would move this around a little bit, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're going to see where they may finish next season.
Yeah. I want to find out.
Installments.
I want to find out. But
Yeah.
let's jump into the list, starting with number 100. This is an A-list All-Star that we had from last year.
Y'all, man, I love this guy.
Yep. Ladd
Love this
McConkey. Ladd McConkey from the Chargers. You were red hot on Ladd McConkey. You were talking him up, and when he got drafted, you continued to go ballistic over him. And did he show up last year?
Man,
Big way.
Dude, he was the best receiver. I think he was the best receiver in the SEC.
Yep.
His last 2 years there, because you can't cover him with a nickel corner, right?
No.
With a slot guy. He can play on the inside. He can play on the outside. He's got the quick feet. He's got in and out of breaks. He's got open field speed. Well, anyway, when they showed this, they opened up with McConkey describing a touchdown play versus the Saints, right? There was man press, and he's running a stop and go route. He turns, and it's a back shoulder, basically. Mm-hmm. He shakes Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu left him shaking like a cold dog in the ring, right? Then he makes another move, splits two defenders. 30 yards later, it's a touchdown. Yeah, just one of the best plays that I've seen him make, bro. And he was doing this at Georgia in the SEC. Yeah, right.
I was watching some games where McConkey was making, especially late, I believe it was an overtime game. He made a couple of, huge catches down the field that brought the Chargers right back into this thing. They were down. They wound up coming back late in the game to tie it up, go to overtime. McConkey has been, he was shockingly good last year. We're talking 82 receptions, 1,149 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Broke Keenan Allen's Charger rookie record.
Yep.
And they said he set an NFL rookie record for wide receivers receiving yards in a playoff game with 197.
Yeah. Huge.
Right? So, man. What else did they say? Hold on. I wrote this down. Spoken of highly by Joe Alt and Derwin James. Derwin James said he's an all-pro for sure, one of the best receivers in this league. And Joe Alt talked about his route running. And Cooper Jean said something about him, but Ladd McConkey said himself, he doesn't view it as he's like, I'm not going out there to get open. It's you're guarding me. Yeah. Right? So that's his mindset. And he studies the guys that he's going to come up against in your defense.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. I really loved Ladd McConkey, the way he got open. The route running was excellent. Yeah. Just stellar. Let's jump into number 99 here. Leonard Williams. Big Leonard Williams.
Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Big Leonard Williams sitting at 99.
Unranked last year.
Yep. Came alive this year a little bit. I like Leonard Williams a lot. Signed with the Seahawks last year. None of us, surprisingly, had selected him as one of our my guys. It was
what, 3 piece, and then he kind of fell out. But there's no reason for that, because let me tell you, Y'all, what did who do you say? Yeah, this was Chris Lindstrom, right? The Atlanta Falcons guard. He says you always kind of account for him where he is in any sort of drop back situation. You always have your eyes out for him.
Yeah. By the way, he had an interception for 92 yards last year
Against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
His second interception of his career.
Yeah.
Right? And he took it to the house 98 yards.
Yeah.
You don't see that every day.
You don't.
He's a big boy too. You know, he's 6'5", 310 pounds. So, you know, we watched a whole lot of guys last year, you know, do that rumbling, bumbling, stumbling thing, whether it's a fumble recovery or an interception, or in this case, they call this a thick six. So very dynamic play. Probably one of the best plays Seattle had that year.
Yeah, he really tore it down. I mean, he had 64 combined tackles last year, 2 sacks. I mean, he's a hell of a player. I should take that back. He had 11 sacks. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Yeah,
INT. Yeah. I mean, he had 2 interceptions. I mean, for a defensive tackle, those are damn good numbers. 11 sacks for a defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that very often unless the guy's name is what, Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get disruptive defensive tackles like
and that's
that.
what they're saying. Explosive off the ball, plays with power and finesse. And what I'm just seeing effort and talent. Right? When you combine effort and talent,
Yeah.
man, sky's the limit, bro.
Yep.
Top 100 at least.
Top 100, absolutely. Number 98 is Aaron Jones, the Minnesota Vikings running back. This is my guy here.
Now, last year, let's take a quick peek. Aaron Jones, unranked last.
Yep. So in the season prior, he had an injury issue in 2023. We're talking, he only had 142 carries for 656 and 2 touchdowns. Well, basically gave up the job to A.J. Dillon. I mean, that's what he did. This past season,
work out.
Well, this past season just on the ground, Aaron Jones, 255 carries for 1,138 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's just on the ground, receiving wise. We're talking about 51 receptions for another 408 yards, and he also had 2 touchdowns. So the guy had 7 touchdowns on the year combined, along with over 1,500 yards of offense. I mean, and we're talking at 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you don't see that often from running backs in this day and age, unless their names are Derrick Henry. Right. You know, you don't get that. I like what Aaron Jones did. I think he fits what they like to do with the Kevin O'Connell system. That's that. If you recall what Kevin O'Connell used to do with the LA Rams, he used to like to throw the ball a lot to Todd Gurley, right? Yeah. And that was what he did. And then he started using other running backs in that same fashion there, right? And so now he gets a running back that is a pass-catching type of running back, kind of a do-it-all kind of guy in Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones fit this scheme. I mean, it was like Todd Gurley light. You know, it's like, oh, that's perfect. And he was excellent for that scheme. And now he's got a nice backup there in Jordan Mason this upcoming season. I'm excited to see what they do. But great season for Aaron Jones this year. I think this is about right ranking-wise. I think this is about right for him at 98.
Well, if you ask him, he says he's number 1.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He said he's number 1. It's funny, but he is great, though. Excellent hands. He runs a beautiful wheel route. Still has the speed. And he has deceptive power, especially at the goal line. You think you got him, but he keeps those legs turning. He'll spin out of it, and he'll score.
Plays with somewhat of a high pad level. I don't know if anybody noticed that. He's got some higher shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, you're just wearing big pads, aren't you? So much bigger than your average running back.
But he's a great teammate too.
He is.
Everybody talks about how great of a teammate.
Very positive guy. Yeah. He was excited to be in Minnesota. Number 97, and a guy that I think is ranked way too low. Another one of my guys, Drake London.
All right, Drake London, unranked. Yep.
You want to talk a guy that saw market improvement over the course of, we talked about Brandon Ayuk last year ad nauseum.
Right.
We want to talk about Drake London here. I mean, this guy He went from 866 to 905 to 1,271 last season. Especially good down the stretch. If you recall those games with Michael Penix throwing in the ball.
Think of those quarterbacks before Penix showed up.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he had one game with Kirk Cousins.
And Desmond Ritter.
Just go ahead.
But if you look at the numbers, he had a couple of games there with Kirk Cousins where he was targeted pretty heavily, 12, 13, and 10, right? So right in a row, but 8, 6, 2, and then Penix came in, and you're talking 13, 7, 16, 10. In the last game of the year, Penix targeted him 18 times. So I mean, he was getting wild. He had 9 touchdowns. The year before, for context, he had 2.
Yep.
So if you look at the change of how things have gone for Drake London, and clearly the Atlanta Falcons trust him as their number 1 receiver. He was, they didn't draft any receivers. They didn't go pick up any receivers in free agency. It was, we're going to stick with Darnell Mooney, and we're going to stick with Drake London, and those are our guys, and that's that.
And they're better.
Yeah, Drake London, I wasn't big on Drake London when he came out of college. I wasn't excited about him like a lot of folks were.
I was.
I wasn't.
I've seen him at USC, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, and I had seen him at USC, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then he comes in the NFL, and last year was kind of that stepping out into the limelight type of moment. I think this guy is set for a big year with Michael Penix throwing him the ball. He's Penix's favorite target. And Penix, as you can see in that last game of the year, the last 2 games, 13 and 18 attempts thrown his way. Even he had 10 back on December the 8th. He had 10 targets. And then before that, he had 16 targets. When Michael Penix comes into the game, Drake London gets a heavy workload. I think he's in for a big year.
100%. And we would be remiss if we didn't explain one of the root causes of Drake London's early struggles. One Arthur Smith, who had no idea how to use number 1 receiver. As soon as he skipped town and went to Pittsburgh, we saw a market improvement.
Yeah. Market, God, that's an understatement. Arthur Smith is a disaster. He's a disaster for number 1 receivers. He just doesn't help anybody.
Well, Bijan Robinson said that he's a nice guy till he gets on the field. And they really, because they show the clip, and he's ultimate competitor, right? They were talking about his route running, how at his size, his ability to run routes is rare, right? Yeah. And that's why he's made so many catches that he's had thrown his way, right? With Penix, he gets after it in the blocking game, because what's better than 4th and 1?
1st and 10.
Thank you.
Yep, that's it. Or a touchdown.
That's the difference, right? When you're talking about running the football, that's the difference between 4th down and 1st down. Yeah. Sometimes that receiver just hold the block a little bit longer. Some guys just whiff and don't even try. But this guy, he gets after it, because, and he said in the clip, hey, I get after it on the block, I'm gonna get thrown a rock.
Yep, that's right. That's it. Next up is one of Alex's guys.
Yep, I definitely decided to take a pick on this guy, Levante David. Now, we've been talking a lot about stellar rookies and stellar 1st or 2nd or 3rd year players. This gentleman's been a mainstay on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since 2012. We're looking 12 hard years with the Buccaneers, and his statistics are absolutely consistent throughout his entire tenure. He's, over the course of his career, he has accumulated 39 sacks, 31 forced fumbles, 19 fumble recoveries, and get this, 13 interceptions for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a 13-5. Now, granted, that's 12 years and 13 for 176 and 13.5 average. Pretty good for, a catch and yards ratio. But nevertheless, the man is an absolute mainstay at linebacker, a leader on that defense.
Yeah, Levante David's been around a long time. He's a leader. He's a team captain. And by the way, the one accolade that you did forget, he's also a Super Bowl winner. a part of one of the most remarkable 3-prong linebacker crews I've ever seen in my life. Between him and Shaq Barrett, it was just incredible to watch Levante David. And last year, technically speaking, and it's worth noting, this is technically was a down year for him, which is kind of saying something because it was still a really good year for him. Yeah. 68.7 PFF grade, a 65.7 pass rush grade, a 78.5 run defense grade. I mean, he was stellar. 90 tackles, 6 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. I mean,
Well, since we talking numbers,
yeah.
okay, ranked 99 last season.
Yep.
Right? 7 times on the top 100 list. 1 Pro Bowl. Clocked at 19.5 miles per hour, taking down Jaden Daniels out of bounds.
At 35
years old.
That's wild.
Right?
That's crazy to think about.
He's always been a sideline threat. Ask Bijan Robinson if he can get covered by Devontae Davis. Ask Sam Laporta, right? Who covers him, right? So we're talking about one of the best coverage linebackers who can still get after it and does all the little things. The football intelligence, the football IQ is what they were keying in on as well.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in all of the game. I love him he can play inside linebacker, he can play outside linebacker. I mean, he's incredible. I love Levante David. Alex, yeah. I like that pick. Also, next up, let's talk about Josh Sweat.
95.
Number 95. Just recently, he went from the Eagles, became an Arizona Cardinal on a big contract this offseason.
Unranked.
Unranked last year. But man, he still had a really good year last year. That's the thing. And then, even before that, you can see the consistency of how good he's been ever since he came into the league in 2018. He's been consistently good across the board. Last year was a very good year for him. 75.7 PFF grade, a 71.5 pass rush grade, 69.3 run defense grade. He had 27 tackles, 8 sacks. I mean, this guy's the real deal. He's one of the better edge rushers in the league. He goes to an Arizona Cardinals team with a head coach who he's very familiar with. Yep, his former defensive coordinator with the Eagles, in Jonathan Gannon over there. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting spot for him going to this Cardinals defense. I want to see if he can be the edge rusher, an edge rushing presence, I guess, that they need. But,
I'm sure he will.
Oh, yeah. But at 95, I mean, this honestly seems a little low to me for Josh Sweat.
A little bit.
Honest with you.
Yeah. Now, they showed the Super Bowl clip of Sweat abusing Joe Thuney.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Putting pressure on Patrick Mahomes. The second allowed Zach Bond to get the interception.
Yep.
And he shouted him out on that broadcast. Cooper DeJean called him dominant, right? And Sweat led Philly in sacks and had 2.5 of those in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Disruptive was the word frequently used on the clip talking about Josh Sweat.
Constantly creating pressure.
Yes.
Constantly in the quarterback space.
Heavy in the run game.
Yep.
Does all of those things.
He's just a presence. That's the thing, a presence. That's the best way to put it. He had 54 pressures last year. I mean, that's pressures. So I mean, he was pretty
pressure burst pipes.
He was pretty spectacular and like a 71.5 pass rush grade, a 69.3 run defense grade. So he was great on both of those. I mean, he's just a rock solid player,
and that's what will get you a big contract in Arizona too.
Yep, absolutely. Next up, Alex, let's talk about your guy, Sam Laporta.
Yep, absolutely. So obviously he's Detroit, so I had to pick him up. And you know, so we have this. Everybody knows the story by now. If you followed the Outside Blitz for any length of time, when Sam Laporta was drafted in 2023, I believe the entire living room area heard Mr. Fabulous One here screech "reach," because Michael Mayer, I believe that was his name, was on the board, and he ended up getting picked up by the Raiders in the very next pick. Well, turns out, with the Ben Johnson system over the last 2 years, he's made quite a name for himself. You know, he's caught 146 passes for over 1,600 yards. You know, he's had 17 touchdowns. He has a first down, 87 first downs. You know, a lot of times whenever we get, you know, when you see that first down, it's either Amon-Ra St. Brown or Sam Laporta, or even when he got hurt late in the season in his rookie year, you know, he ended up coming back for the playoffs and helping the Lions, you know, win that first playoff game in over 30 years. But if you take a look, on the surface, it does look like he's been a pretty proficient tight end. But, you know, he had a down year last year. You know, he had 889 yards his first year and only 726 yards the next year, played one less game and had 3 less touchdowns. So, and now there are question marks in Detroit now that Ben Johnson skipped town, because that was the system that really gave Sam Laporta the opportunity to be that successful. So yeah, there is a giant question mark hanging over not just Sam Laporta but the entire Detroit Lions football team. But you know, I'm holding out hope that whoever they have at the helm will just keep the gravy train rolling. And what anything else that I might have left out?
Yeah, Laporta comes from tight end U over there in Iowa. He was a guy that Lions fans were extremely excited about. You know, it raises the question, and like you said, we have questions about, was Ben Johnson the straw that stirred the drink for Detroit, right? Everybody's going to ask that question. We're going to find out this year. Find out if he was the guy. The one thing about Sam Laporta, and you were right, he did have a down year, even though the numbers seem pretty close, from 880 to 726, it's like relatively kind of same ballpark, sort of. You look at where the most of his yardage popped up, and I was the front half of the season. I mean, really, it was the last 5 games that all of his yardage really started to accumulate. You look at 54, 111, 43, 64, and 63. So, I mean, a lot of his yardage came on the back end. A lot of his touchdowns came on the back end. He had 4 of them on the back end in the last 6 games. So, I mean, Laporta, he turned it on late. And maybe that's when it matters most, you know. But if you look at yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, if you look at Laporta and his numbers throughout the year, it was a little inconsistent for me. But because of that, I think the number where he's at is about right, where him sitting at 94, because he did have kind of basically a down year. It wasn't as consistent as you would have preferred, like you saw in the year prior.
Well, he was ranked 80 last year.
Yeah.
But again, now the offense evolved, right? There was more Jahmyr Gibbs. There was Jamison Williams coming back, right? There was Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course. So there was a bunch of different elements at play at the same time. Also, second year in the league, you have more film, right? Who are you playing against? What kind of defenses are they playing? But here's the thing.
And notoriously, tight ends that have over 800 yards and 6 touchdowns always regress.
Well, some regression, but okay, at the end of the year, that regression turned into aggression.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? 147 receptions, most by any tight end in the first 2 years in their NFL history, right? You're talking about Gonzalez, Witt, Sharp, Gronk, Kittle, Kelsey, right? More receptions than all those guys in the first 2 seasons. Got very good hands, great in the open field.
Yep.
Right? We already know that. Speed, always looking to score. Fantastic catch on National Tight Ends Day.
Yes, he did.
So we're looking at still Sam Laporta, one of the top, wherever you want to put him, right? Top 10 tight end.
I'd put him in the top 7. I'd put him in the top 7.
There you go.
Yeah, so, I think he's right up there with all those guys. With
and he still blocks though.
Yeah,
right?
I'd put him right up there. Kittle, Kelsey, Hawkinson, those type of guys. I think you got about the top 7. I think Laporta's right in there. Anywhere you want to stick him in that top 7 is correct. Next up, let's go ahead and
93.
93. We're talking about another one of my guys, man. Creed Humphrey. We love Creed Humphrey.
Listen. I'll say this. Unranked last year, right?
How?
But, right? Here's the thing. I wasn't on this show. People pulling back the curtain. Yeah. Right? I wasn't on this show when Creed Humphrey was the Outside Blitz
Rookie of the Year. Yep.
Right. So that was what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yeah.
So 3 years ago.
3 years.
'cause
Yeah.
I've been here. 3
Yep.
years ago. Scotty, Alex, Tyler, the Outside Blitz told you 3 years ago this dude was for real.
Yep.
He's the only center on the top 100 list.
You know,
spoiler alert.
It's an unappreciated position is the center position, and it's underappreciated, and people don't realize how important it is for your offensive line. I mean, and then Alex, you guys just lost Frank Ragnow, and everybody seems to be soiling themselves over that. That's a tough loss. Creed Humphrey, look, the Kansas City Chiefs, they got the hell beat out of it, or they got the hell beat out by the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Super Bowl. That's what happened. And they set out that offseason and said, we're going to fix this offensive line now.
Yep.
And they went out and they fixed it. They got Trey Smith, they got Creed Humphrey, and they lined up both those guys because where did they get killed? Right up the middle. And they went out and they fixed that offensive line and built it around Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. And they fixed the whole thing. And Joe Tooney. It was just brilliant the way that they did it. They said, we're going to fix this now. And they fixed it, and they won a Super Bowl. And Creed Humphrey was like the straw that stirred the drink. I keep using that reference, but it was. He was the best center in football. He was the best rookie that year at any position. He graded out the highest out of any rookie at any position. I mean, he was the man. Yeah. You nobody could deny him. And when he won the Rookie of the Year, a lot of people sat there and said, "Wow, you put a center as your Rookie of the Year?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because he was the best.
And he was the only center on this list this year.
Yeah, only center on the list, which is crazy.
What's that tell you?
That's crazy.
Dude,
he's great, and to make the list in an undervalued position.
Yes.
It's very undervalued at the center position.
Yeah, I got a quote here. I want to compete against him because he is at the top of his position. That's by linebacker Deion Henley of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep.
Right?
Top of, and he's not wrong.
Yeah. They showed the clip of Creed Humphrey stonewalling Vita Vea. We're talking Vita Vea, right?
Big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Stonewall. Right? Took Roquan Smith all the way to the goal line. Roquan finally had to break away from him, but he was 10 yards out of the play.
Yep.
Right? And then they showed where Kyle Hamilton got pancaked.
Yep.
On the way to a touchdown for the Chiefs. So, yeah, Creed Humphrey. Those are the clips I would really like.
He's the real deal. He is. He's the real deal. The Chiefs, they made a brilliant move. I had Creed Humphrey going relatively high in that draft class. I had him slated as a top. It was a third. I think I had him in the early third round, which is relatively high for a center. Yeah. And he turned out to be. I mean, like I said, best at his position. You want to talk?
So when we tell you people about these players coming out in these NFL drafts, and you hear those names come out of our mouths, just remember, we kind of know what we're talking about a little bit.
Listen to these grades: 92.8 overall PFF grade, 90.6 pass blocking grade, 91.1 run blocking grade. That's second overall in centers, first overall pass blocking grade, second best run blocking grade amongst all centers. Look at that. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. 92.8. Like, and the years before that, it continued to be 78 the year before, 2022 when he was or 21 when he was the Rookie of the Year, 91.4 overall grade, 80.4 pass blocking, 92.5 run blocking. I mean, he's the man. I mean, 90 the year after, 90, 79, 91. I mean, it's when you hear that, and now he's at the top of his game right here after the 24 season, 92, 90, 91. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's all they're talking about.
Yeah, he's the man. And by the way, the guy's never hurt. He played 1,115 snaps. He's never hurt.
What are the top two things that we ask for here at the Outside Blitz? Availability
and reliability.
And reliability.
That's it. And he's always available. He's always reliable. And you got to love it. And he's, by the way, only 26 years old. Still only 26. I mean,
that's crazy. He's got so much tread on the tires, it's insane.
Yeah.
and still has time to go to Creed concerts.
Can we take him higher? That's all we got to do.
And this list, I feel like he should be. I mean, it's just an undervalued position. I feel like that's the only reason he's at 93. It's just the position. Number 92 goes to Jesse Bates, the safety, the former Cincinnati Bengal. Now he plays, I think, for the Atlanta Falcons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, since 2023.
Yep. He spent the last 2 years on that. Let me tell you something about Jesse Bates. I want to explain something to you people. 74 ranked last season. Okay, he was a second-round draft pick by Cincinnati.
Fell off a little bit.
Hold on.
A little bit.
He had 3 interceptions in his rookie season, including 1 pick six, 7 pass defense, 73 solo tackles, 111 total tackles. Right? 3 interceptions in his second year, 71 solos, 100 total, 1 forced fumble. Okay? Now, third year, 3 interceptions, added a forced fumble, 78 solo tackles, 109 total tackles, 1 interception in the fourth year because he made up for it with 4 picks in his contract 5th season.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati let him go.
Let him walk.
Yeah. Why?
We gotta do this.
Dummy. Thank you. Thanks, Fred. When you listening to these, rest in peace, Red Fox. When you talking about numbers like this, right? Why would you let this guy go?
Yeah.
Right? If you're the Bengals, he's clearly hadn't missed the game.
Yeah.
Right? And was clearly one of the best, not only in the conference, right, but in the league at that particular point. Because Atlanta snatches them up, okay, in the last 2 seasons, 10 picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And 2 touchdowns.
There you go. 1 pick six in each year. I was just about to say 7 forced fumbles in the last 2 years, right? They're talking about how he punches the ball out, how has he only made 1 Pro Bowl? That's my question.
It doesn't make sense. And here's what's crazy. So, and I said he fell off within the last year a little bit, just a pinch. But here's the crazy thing. A down year for him is a career year for most safeties.
Thank you.
You know, because if you look at his 2024, so first of all,
player in the NFL with 4 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles.
And here, this is what I mean by fall off a little bit. So in 23, he was a 90.6 overall grade, 89.8 run defense, 90.2 coverage grade, right?
Right.
24, he was an 80.2, 88.4, and 81. So he dropped off a little bit, but those are still top-notch grades,
right?
For us, for a safety. I mean,
you pass any class with those grades.
Yeah, you're looking at it. In his coverage grade, he ranked 9th in the league in his position.
Right.
That's
ball hawk, the vision.
He
reads quarterbacks' eyes.
12th ranked
like
safety.
IA cookies out of the trash.
Yeah, and 12th ranked safety for Pro Football Focus this last year. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. Man. So a fall off for him, career year for most safeties.
Right. Now, and we were just talking earlier about the pass rush from Atlanta now with those first 2 draft picks. Yep. Right. Now, what's the best friend of a coverage unit? A
blitz.
Pass. Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Blitz, pass rush, baby.
Right.
The outside blitz.
Man.
Yeah, he's. I mean, if you look at 73 solo tackles, I mean, he allowed 28 receptions last year.
Yeah, you're not going to fool him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can quit trying. But he fooled Cincinnati, and he's doing way better than what they'll have a better record than Cincinnati. Atlanta will.
Oh yeah,
and he'll be a huge part of that. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Ranked 5th in pass breakups.
See what I'm saying?
5th, and by the way, at his position, 1st in forced fumbles last year.
Thank you. What? Case closed.
Yeah.
Bang.
And also, we talk about availability and reliability. He was 5th in total snaps at his position at 1,095.
How many games missed?
Oh, he didn't miss any.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How many times I got to keep closing this case?
So, yeah, I agree with you. Jesse Bates, I mean, I would have probably kept Jesse Bates at the position he was at last year, honestly. Yeah. Higher. Yeah. Because, I mean, to have him drop this low, I mean, yes, his numbers dropped off, but not the way that they make it seem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. And then last but not least, a guy where I think honestly, I don't know why he's on this list, and I'm not a fan. Is Tua Tagovailoa
91,
I don't even like him on the list. I think he should be unranked.
36 last season.
I don't understand that either.
Well, I do. Okay.
I think it's because the quarterback position is overvalued in this situation. You're getting like passive extra credit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Grade on the curve a little bit. But Tua has been the saving grace of Mike McDaniel's job in Miami.
I mean, that's fair.
Let me tell you, because if Mike McDaniel did not have Tua Tagovailoa to run this system, he would have been out of town.
Yeah.
Been gone. Okay? The system works perfectly for what Tua is really good at. That intermediate game, that accuracy. He was number 1 in the NFL in snap to throw.
Yep.
Right? As quick as he got it, quick as he got out. Okay? And that's exactly what the offense, they run off that rhythm offense. They show the clip of McDaniel talking about the rhythm. You guys, I need that rhythm. You guys do what you do. And it works when everyone is healthy and everyone's on the same page and it's not November and December, right?
Yeah.
It works. But
when it's not December in Buffalo.
Yeah. And here's the thing about that. If the Miami Dolphins are really serious about winning, they need to invest heavily. They should have invested more in the offensive and defensive line.
I agree.
In the last few seasons. Get bigger up front, get tougher on defense, and definitely get tougher in the run game.
But then they gave away Laramie Tunsil 2 years ago.
Come on, man. Right?
To the Texans.
Devon A-Chain is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, when he's on the field. Right? So they need to get tougher in the run game. They need to get bigger up front and tougher when it comes to when it comes to late in the season. Where you got to go on the road in that cold and in that snow. You got to be able to make sure, or you win enough games to make people come to your house.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
But I'm looking at Tua. He has not played. I think
11 games last year.
1 full season.
Yeah.
Right? And that's evidenced by him taking so much punishment because he's not going to run around. You saw the last time he ran. It didn't go so well.
No. I mean, I feel like every year we get some sort of situation where he's getting concussed and his arms and hands are doing involuntary things. He's throwing up gang signs in front of his face.
And McDaniel shouldn't have let him back.
I
shouldn't
agree.
have let him play again.
Yep.
Right? Should have just shut him down. But again, not investing enough and heavily enough in the offensive defensive line has hurt Miami. And not having Tua on the field has definitely hurt Miami. Mm-hmm. But last year he had 72.9% completion percentage, right, which led the NFL.
Yep.
Right. Tyreek also said he was a little more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. And you should have heard Jonnu Smith, we were talking about earlier. He says, hold on, I got the quote here. You cannot drop the ball.
Yeah, no.
Right? That's because it's there. It's
he has good touch.
Yeah.
He has good touch on the ball.
And that's where it's supposed to be. Tua Mike McDaniel will miss Tua if he didn't have him, and he wouldn't have the job. I'm telling you, he's money in the intermediate game. Fastest from snap. What else? Yeah. Never should have let him play after the country. I took some notes on it, but I'm just kind of going like, Miami, do right by your quarterback.
Protect
do right
your guy.
by your guy.
Protect your guy.
Please do, because he's the best chance you got to get to the playoffs. When they did make the playoffs, though, bad game.
Yeah, he struggled.
Kansas City.
But it's against Kansas City.
Yeah, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
And it was that Spagnuolo defense.
Yeah, 54% or 53% completion percentage. It didn't work out for him that day.
Not with L'Jarius Sneed out there.
Yeah. So, but if you're Miami, please get this guy protected. And you shouldn't have let Jonnu Smith go.
I 1,000% agree.
Yep.
But I think they could still make the playoff with what they have. Yeah. And they lose in the first round.
Right. I was just going to say the same thing. Especially if they go somewhere cold. I mean, if they're seven seed, they're going bye-bye. And we've seen them in that 6 and 7 seed consistently over the last couple of years, if they made it at all. And really, the biggest criticism that we have, and Boots, you touched on it a little bit, and Scotty definitely touched on it a little bit. He's not available, and he's not 100% reliable. You know, if we keep saying if he's healthy, and the numbers don't lie. In 2023, he played a full slate of games. He was available. He was reliable. He was 388 for 560 with a completion percentage of 69.3. He had 4,624 yards with an average of 8.3. Had 29 touchdowns, 14 picks, and his longest pass was 78 yards. He did get sacked 29 times. I mean, that just tells us that, you know, consistently, there hasn't been a season in this kid's life with the Dolphins where he didn't get sacked at least 20 times. That offensive line needs work.
He gets the hell beat out of him. On a yearly basis, he gets the hell beat out of him. And every time he gets hit, there's a collective gasp of, you know, is he going to get up? Yeah. Oh no. Oh. You know. Well, everybody
and the other thing is when he doesn't know how to slide. What does he do? He goes head first. We saw it happen. I'm like, last year he goes head first. I'm like, what are you doing?
Wanted to show he was tough, and you know, hey, it was a bad move.
He got concussed. Right? He was out for what, 7 games?
Yeah, 6 games.
Yeah,
just slide, man.
Yeah. It was wild.
We all know you're tough. You're in the NFL. You have to be a tough player to play in the NFL, period. So slide.
Technically, it was sort of 7 games because he was playing Buffalo, and that hit happened against DeMar Hamlin there. He dove, and it was pretty early he was gone. Yeah. So I was like, well, that's enough of that. So
irony of ironies that DeMar Hamlin, of all people, was the one that put out Tua that year.
Just terrible.
That was the first installment of the top 100 players.
Yeah.
We got plans to keep doing this over the next
several weeks.
Yeah. Every show we're going to have 10 until the season starts, and we're going to do 3 per week until week 17. We'll do number 2. Week 18, we'll do number 1.
Yeah. We'll jump into it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So moving into our bold predictions segment. Well, this is our last segment of the day. I have my 5 bold predictions for this show. Next show we'll get Alex's, and then the following we will get one for Boots.
Well, we do have another sponsor for this segment.
Do it.
Yeah. Acme presents the Bluetooth Cool Cream. The Bluetooth Cool Cream for when the banging headboard didn't get you what you needed. And you need to cool down the Bluetooth. Not Bluetooth, the Bluetooth.
The Bluetooth.
Yeah. Now, I can't tell you exactly what this cold cream is made of, and I can't tell you what exactly you should do with it, but innuendo is you use it for relief.
Okay.
So if the banging headboards don't work for snuggle time, just get yourself a big old industrial-sized bottle of the Bluetooth Cool Cream.
Oh God, you're just on a level today, aren't you?
He's a ruffian and a rapscallion.
Moving into my bold predictions. So each of us are going to give 5 bold predictions for the upcoming NFL season. We'll be doing these throughout the entire season, but for the 2025-26 season, I have 5 for this one. So my first bold prediction, I'm going to jump in with the New England Patriots. Quarterback Drake May will be a top 7 quarterback throughout the season in passing yards, touchdowns, and get this, rushing touchdowns at his position this year. I think they're going to utilize his legs a little bit more. This is a Vrabel type system, and I think it was almost forgotten that this guy was actually a good rusher in college.
Yeah,
I don't think Vrabel forgets things like that, and I really do think a sizable quarterback, because he's a big dude like Drake May, is going to be running the football a little bit more. Passing yards, touchdowns, and rushing touchdowns, especially with Stephon Diggs as at his disposal, and Demario Douglas is still over there, and Hunter Henry for that matter. I mean, all 3 of those guys. And let's not forget the fact that you have 2 good pass-catching running backs now, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson over there. So things get a little interesting.
Yeah, with Josh McDaniels at the OC,
yep,
I think he can unlock more talent that the previous regime could unlock. I would tend to agree with you on this one. I know it's a bold prediction, but I don't see where it couldn't happen.
Yeah, but
unless
top seven is
seven at each passing yards, touchdowns, and rushing touchdowns at his position. I can see it.
Yeah, it's bold to be in the top seven. I'll tell you that, especially for Drake May playing for that Patriots team. I think that's bold.
The only thing, unless they run the ball more, with the running backs, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. One that's bold, but I think is less bold. Drake London will be a top 5 receiver in yards, receptions, and touchdowns for the 2025-26 season. Last year, I think he finished 12th, was it? I think this season you're going to see him go off. Michael Penix's favorite receiver.
Yeah.
We saw how he peppered him with targets at the end of the year last year. I want to see if they can continue that, or if teams are going to cue in on Drake London. But I think he winds up as a top 5 receiver this year. I think something just clicked. Alex, what say you?
So I find it hard to disagree with. Drake London is that kind of a player, and I really think that it's a bold prediction, but it's one that makes sense.
Yeah.
And one more time for the gaffer. What was that?
I'm sorry. What was that?
One more time for the gallery here. I'm writing these down so that we can refer to them in future episodes.
And I got them spelled out here. But Drake London will be a top 5 receiver in yards, receptions, and touchdowns for the 2025-26 season. So we will definitely see that, I think. Number 3 bold prediction. We are going to see a running back renaissance in the NFL. We are going to see, here's how it's going to go. Quinshawn Judkins, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, Jerome Ford, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, and Ramondre Stevenson will not finish the season as the running back number 1 for their respective teams. Those honors will go to Dylan Sampson, will be the starting RB1 by the end of the season for the Cleveland Browns. Omarion Hampton will be the starting RB1 for the Chargers. You're going to see Jaden Blue be the starting running back 1 for the Dallas Cowboys by the end of the season. Travion Henderson will be the starting RB1 for the Patriots by the end of the year. And here we go. This is our guy. Bashal Rootin' Tootin' will be the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars by the end of the season this year. We were big on Bashal Tootin'. There's not a lot of hype about him in camp, but I think they're sleeping on him right now. And I think he's a Liam Cohen kind of guy.
This is the one where I gotta.
You hate it.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
stop.
You hate it. You hate it.
Hold up, wait a minute. Stop it. What I got here's the thing. I could see. I cannot see Dylan Sampson taking over for Quinshawn Judkins. And Jerome Ford still in Cleveland, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I don't see Dylan Sampson taking that number 1 role. Possibly. Yeah, it's slim. Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, Tootin' taking over for both of them.
Oh yeah,
I can see him taking over for Etienne, not for Bigsby though. Omarion Hampton, I could see taking over for Najee, and I could see Jaden Blue if Javonte Williams isn't the running back who he was when he first came into the league, like I spoke on earlier.
He's not.
I could see that with Jaden Blue. They'll give him his opportunity. But Travion Henderson being the number 1 guy over Ramondre Stevenson, I could see that too. I can see 2 of those happen. I can see Travion over Ramondre, and I could see Omarion over Najee. But I can't see the other.
Here's the thing about it. I think there's a lot of hype surrounding Quinshawn Judkins. But at the end of the day, the Browns have made it very clear that they're going to be starting Jerome Ford as the starting running back over there to start the season, rather than even though they drafted Judkins really high.
Right.
And I think that says a lot to me about how they don't really like Judkins over there. They're not feeling Judkins as much as everybody else was. if you were feeling him as much as as high as you drafted him, you'd have him in the starting lineup right away. I'd be starting Quinton Judkins, not Jerome Ford, and it makes me question
what has Ford done to lose a gig?
Listen,
nothing.
A lot of people they don't seem very sold on him.
But this is bold.
It's bold, and that's the thing. It's bold.
I don't know. Jerome Ford still has tread on the tires. I really think he can get some stuff done for the Cleveland Browns still. Again, here's the real question y'all need to be asking. Are the Browns smart enough to utilize him? And the answer to that question is no.
Yeah,
no, that's the fancy. They're going to run it.
Oh, yeah, Stefanski loves to run the ball. Outside zone run. Next up, speaking of Kevin Stefanski, his old team, the Minnesota Vikings, will finish with a top 5 ranked offensive line for Pro Football Focus for the 25-26 season. And in a parlay,
here we go.
J.J. McCarthy, T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Mason, and Jordan Addison will finish in the top 12 at their respective positions in receiving, rushing, and passing yards. I think that all of those guys are going to have tremendous years, and I'm going to go on the record as saying I think the Vikings will have a top 12 quarterback with passing yardage, top 12 tight end with the receiving yards, top 12 running back in Jordan Mason with the rushing yards, and a top 12 receiver in Jordan Addison, who finished I think he was 24th last year in receiving yards. I think Jordan Addison takes a step forward in spite of the fact that he's probably going to be suspended for about 2-3 games. They still think he takes a big step forward, and he's going to be one of J.J. McCarthy's favorite targets this year.
And here's another thing where I have to say, hold up, wait a minute.
I know we hate McCarthy. I know.
I have not seen enough, some good footwork and some pretty good passes in the preseason. I need to see more, right? The thing about Jordan Mason, he's going to be behind Aaron Jones, right? Splitting time there. So Jones would have to be off the field in order, and I don't think they're going to run the ball like that.
Jones has a buck. We last year he survived the whole season. Well, I'll give him that. But prior to that, years prior, there was an injury bug that followed Aaron Jones around, and he's now hit the other side of 30. And I'm like, he's coming off an 1,100-yard season.
Yeah.
And Jordan Mason's coming off that really strong year with the Niners.
Well, why did they let him go?
Because he was going to demand big money, and they had Christian McCaffrey on the payroll still. Let's be real. They had Isaac Guerrero, who did just fine, right? So it is what
Jordan Addison missing any time for the legal stuff or whatever. I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
But rumor in any window, scuttlebutt.
Yeah, says 2 to 3 games probably. But even then, I think McCarthy will spread the ball out well. I don't think there's ever been a time in McCarthy's entire football career where he's had the targets like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Or T.J. Hawkinson for that matter.
A lot of talent, but I'm not sold, man. I'm sorry.
I've got to look. Listen, I'm a Vikings fan. I got to buy in at this point. I just got to go for it. I just got to go for it.
We hope.
Look, God, I hope I'm wrong about this kid. God, please let me be wrong about J.J. McCarthy. And last but not least, my last bold prediction: Jets tight end Mason Taylor.
Legacy list guy. I got to do that too.
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah. Legacy list guy. He's the rookie Mason Taylor. He will finish the season as a top 10 tight end in both yardage and touchdowns this year. Playing for the New York Jets. Look, I like Mason Taylor coming out of LSU. We were big fans of him. We liked what everybody said he had a bad combine. I disagreed with a lot of folks. I thought he had a good combine.
Listen, combine is as Rico Beer puts it, the Olympics in shorts, right? The shorts Olympics, whatever, right?
Yeah.
When you watch the games and you see what he does on the field, that's all you need to know.
Good hands, runs routes well. He was probably one of the best, I guess we'll say, most well-seasoned tight ends.
Yes.
out of the group that came out this year.
Killer in the scene.
Yeah, he was excellent. Alex, you and I were enamored with him at the combine. We were both very impressed. He's built like a brick shit house. I mean, the guy's he's phenomenal. And I think with the Jets, they really haven't had a true like pass catching tight end. They've had Tyler Conklin for the last few years. It's basically a run blocking tight end that they tried to convert into a pass catching tight end. And he did okay.
Yeah, he made some plays.
Yeah, but Mason Taylor is light years beyond Conklin at this point. I think Conklin's going to be kind of placed in that run blocking role.
Yeah,
and they're gonna lean into the Mason Taylor thing, and it'll be nice to have a good pass catching tight end available for Justin Fields over there. That's going to be a big deal. He's going to have a little safety valve there. That's going to be good. And he's still going to have guys like Breece Hall to throw to. He's still going to have Garrett Wilson to throw to. He's still going to have, some weapons. But having Mason Taylor out there is going to be huge. And I think Mason Taylor's going to have a big year. Agree? Yeah. We good?
I absolutely agree as well.
I'm getting silence on the other line here.
Well, I'm sorry. I was waiting on Alex. I thought Alex.
No. Yeah. I mean, I don't have much more to say than that.
Alex, are you physically writing these down boot style, like you're the old man notebook?
No. I'm using the new man notebook, the old the keyboard.
Oh,
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, see the new man's keyboard, the young man's keyboard. That's what it is. But those are my 5 bold predictions for the upcoming season. And fellas, that's our show. That is our show.
Oh, but it is.
It is our show.
Oh no. But say it ain't so.
Yep. But before we get out of here, we got to talk about a few of the people that make this show possible. Let's go ahead and first of all talk about It's Your Time Massage. Amanda's a wonderful massage therapist. She's the best in the Metro Detroit area. If you're ever in the Metro Detroit area, you're looking for a massage, you can check out It's Your Time Massage at iytmassage.com on Facebook, or I would see iytmassage.com, or you can find her at It's Your Time Massage LLC on Facebook. There we go. So you can book yourself an appointment. Amanda handles Swedish deep tissue massages. She does, for a little extra, you can get some CBD oil. You can go ahead and get yourself the red light therapy. She takes care of that. She's got memberships for folks if you want that. She does the foot sugar scrub. She'll take good care of you. Check it out, iytmassage.com, or you can book your appointment also on Facebook at It's Your Time Massage LLC. And Amanda will take good care of you. She's the best of the best in the Metro Detroit area. And like I said, folks, remember, it's your time. Also, let's go ahead and talk about Face Kick Apparel. Sean Stockmeyer, his wonderful wife, Lisa, doing awesome stuff for all your hats, hoodies, T-shirts, anything custom that you need. You pick it, they stick it over there at facekickapparel.com. And as per the norm,
hey, get your face kicked in with saving.
Bingo. Also, let's talk about Patch Miracle Photography. Andrew Langland, his wife Chantel, they're doing awesome stuff over there. If you're looking for any of your picture needs to be filled, you can for anything involving wedding photos,
What?
graduation photos,
What?
first birthday photos,
What?
baby pictures.
What?
If you're looking to do a sexy boudoir shoot for that special someone in your life.
Almost got it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No one got me. Check it. Oh man, you can check out patchmiraclephotography.com for all your photography needs. They made me look like a movie star on my wedding night.
That's right, Gary Sinise.
Jesus Christ.
Lieutenant Dan.
Early.
It's getting late early.
Yeah. But yeah, please not the one with the long hair. But just check them out, patchmiraclephotography.com. They have their photos are awesome. They're high quality. This is the type of stuff you really want. We actually have a bunch of our wedding photos hanging in our front room. It was the best day of my life. They made it even better. So folks, check them out, patchmiraclephotography.com. Also, let's talk about Steele Twins Gaming. Alex, you got some cool stuff going on over there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So as right now, as we're sitting here, my brother is on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube with Super Mario Fridays. And, we also have a whole lot of other series to go with. If you're looking for Nostalgic Mondays, we got you covered. Legend of Zelda Tuesdays, no problem. Ratchet and Clank Thursdays, or whichever game happens to catch our fancy on Thursdays, he's got you covered. And do not forget the flagship show, Voice Acting. And tune in sometime, either Sunday or Monday this coming week, for episode 4 of Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. And another voice acting project that's just on the horizon, and I'm very excited to announce this, Ghost Trick. And I started playing Ghost Trick. It's available on Steam. You could probably get it for $20 or $15. And I got to tell you, it's very unique and very charming. That's all I'm going to say about that. Otherwise, we'd be here all night. But check us out. We are here. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. And, I think I will continue to do these co-op streams with the Outside Blitz to try to, get your viewership up and my viewership up. See, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Absolutely. And we love the fact that we got to do the streams with you guys and kind of do a dual thing here. I think this is awesome. And even though you got Boots over here, kind of like he's like the Claw. He's like the Claw from Inspector Gadget.
As long as we're not crossing the street.
No, Jesus Christ.
We'll be just fine.
Unbelievable. Also, let's talk about books, Boots.
They say people don't read books anymore. I don't believe that.
I do.
You know why? Because I read this book.
Yeah.
And I'm people. Okay?
That's news. That's news to me.
People. I ate cookies out of the trash. A wonderful book written by Tammy Pruitt, brand new author. This thing has been selling like hotcakes at IHOP. Right? You need to get online and buy this thing. You can't walk into a store and buy this book. This is available online only. This book talks about issues with your weight. It talks about issues with your anxiety, with depression, with love, with wisdom, with art. Because this woman puts her life story on paper that you can read. It's all relatable. It reads like a conversation, but not a boring one. Because who wants to be in a boring conversation? Y'all still listening to us, and we've been boring for the last 2 hours.
Yeah,
right.
Wait,
but we
what?
thank you for. Thank you for.
That's a subjective opinion.
And we love the fact that so many people have bought this book, and so many people will continue to buy this book. But the only way you can buy this book is to type in online, I ate cookies out of the trash. It's available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobleBooks.com, AppleBooks.com, all of these .coms, okay? There should be a store called .com that you can walk in and buy the book. But no, this is what you do. You go online, you order the book, it gets shipped to your house, and you can go right to your front door, open it up, grab the book, close the door. Definitely close the door. You never know about freaks these days. Go sit yourself down, have a hot cup of tea, and read a wonderful, heartfelt book, I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, let's talk about our good friend of the show, the artist formerly known.
Keep saying that. That's how the cookie
That's how
crumbles.
I like that. And good friend of the show, the artist formerly known as Big Willie Dubs Gaming. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. It's No Shot Bot TTV. You can check them out on Facebook, on Twitch, on the TikTok. That's my old man moment for the day. And, Will's doing awesome stuff over there. A lot of first-person shooter stuff. You can find him on the TikTok over there and log in, give him a follow. His stuff is very entertaining, especially, not always gaming, but a lot of the gaming stuff is still a lot of fun. But even when it's not gaming, he's doing some cool stuff, whether it's Hot Ones challenges or, if I get so-and-so amount of follows, I'm going to shave my beard off, which made his wife freak out. Like all kinds of stuff like that. So if you check him out over there, No Shot Bot TTV on TikTok, you can No Shot Bot TV over there on Twitch, on Facebook. You can find him. His stuff's great. Check him out, No Shot Bot TV. And folks, that is our show.
I'll say something.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen, to our brethren, to our sister, the Blitz babies, first time listeners, we thank you for tuning in. Listen, I want to talk to you about something real quick. Timing, right? Just because there's
there's traffic, right? You know how many times? I'll tell you something. I got held up at my job, right? And I couldn't leave what I was doing when I really wanted to do what I was trying to leave, and I couldn't. Someone was talking to me, and I don't know. The conversation lasted about 45 seconds, but it was 45 seconds I'll never get back, and I really wanted to get away from this conversation.
Yeah.
Right? But I just listened. Okay. That afternoon, as I was heading home, there was a major accident that had just happened. As I was driving down the street.
Right.
Just happened. So, thankfully, the people involved weren't injured.
Yep.
Cars were torn up, but the people weren't injured. Had I not had that little 15 or 45-second conversation or listened to someone, I would have been in that same position.
Yeah.
Right?
You would have.
And thankfully, those people weren't injured, but still, that's something you want to go through.
Yeah. Could have been you.
So, when someone needs to talk to you, and when someone needs an ear, right? Just be there for somebody. Maybe it's only 45 seconds, but that could be the difference between winning and losing, life and death, injury or not, and that could make their day.
Absolutely. Yep. Look out for yourselves and each other, as the once famous Jerry Springer used to say, the late great Jerry Springer. But what you say? Come on now, you know, look out for yourselves and each other. So, but folks, thank you so much for listening. We've been getting lots of listenership on these shows, more and more and more. I'm loving that. You guys give us a rate on Apple iTunes. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Odyssey. We're attempting to get ourselves on Spotify. I've started making some moves for that, so you can find us on Spotify eventually here. You're going to see us all over the place. So the Outside Blitz, give us a rate, give us a follow, give us a review. We appreciate it. Please give us a 5-star review. I mean, I would prefer no bad, but, you know, give us 5-star and tell us how much you love us, or, you know, you can tell Alex he's a bum. Either way, you know, that's cool too. But, folks, thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time right here on the Outside Blitz.
You're probably talking about us because we're the only thing to talk about.
Ciao.